Well, this hand's great. Let's keep this. I might go turn 1 Implement into turn 2 Deadly Dispute Thoughtseize. I think that probably seems okay. If I had to recommend Execute Pioneer, which would it be? I actually would like a little bit of a... If someone wants to find that article I wrote for Channel Fireball about getting into Pioneer, it's really like... That article is really like... It's really short, but it's like a general guide on how to get into any format. It's a free article too. But generally, I finding a deck that you jive with in any format is a really fun and like personal process, and I would hate to deprive anyone of that exploration, because it's just such a great time, like figuring out what you're going to start playing in the format. And so like I generally recommend like just spending a lot of time watching players play, learning different decks, looking at different decks, and just trying to figure out what you jive with, you know, what is speaking to you, what looks fun. I'm actually gonna wait here so I can sack this to dispute number 2. Just like figuring out what looks fun to you, what you think is interesting, what you think is competitive. Just like looking at all the lists that exist, watching some content, reading some articles, then picking something and playing it either through proxying, play testing, playing with friends, playing Magic Online, playing Arena, whatever your process is. Just starting to jam games is really important. Oh, if I knew they were Greasefang, I maybe would have Thoughtseized first. Okay, so let's go now. Anvil, sack a treasure, trigger the Anvil, Thoughtseize them. Take the March. Take the Oven. Play the Oven. And then what's cool about like the playtesting process too, right? Once you actually start jamming games, once you actually start playtesting, what I usually find is during that process, you will find something that you think is interesting. Either the deck you selected is a good deck for you, and you're going to end up liking it, and you're going to end up playing it a lot. Or you'll play against a deck that you think is cooler than the deck that you chose to play, and then you just start picking that deck up, playtesting it, and going from there is usually how I recommend getting into any format, Pioneer included. Okay, flooding out a little bit. Thankfully, we have Jegantha. We've got our creatures. We also have Shrapnel Blast available to kill a possible Greasefang. So my opponent has Godless Shrine, Odawara, 3 mystery cards. New card. Guess we just sack the Anvil to itself now. We have to leave the Shrapnel Blast, obviously. I guess we could maybe try to Hive to exile the Parhelions. The problem with that line is if we Hive this turn, we end up tapping out of Shrapnel Blast, which just does not feel like an option, so we'll just wait. Put Jegantha in the hand. I noticed I flood out a lot deck. Do you think there could be too many lands with so much draw? I mean, you have a lot of mana sinks in this deck too. Just flood out sometimes. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Every deck floods out sometimes, especially in Pioneer. Is Winota S tier? I happen to have 3 of them. Winota's a great deck. I kind of feel like Winota is maybe just the best deck to get into Pioneer with, because it's like kind of easy to play. Like if your goal is to just like not spew value while you learn the format, Winota is like just easy to pilot and really powerful. How do you like blue-red Demolish Prowess versus the mono-red version? I think the mono-red Prowess deck is better. Mono-red with, specifically mono-red with interesting draw. I think this turn I'm going to go for the Hive, though. Sorry, specifically mono-red with the Underworld Breach over Bedlam Revelers, I think is where I want to be. I haven't playtested it myself, but a very nice Twitch chatter said that they had been playtesting it and liking it. Okay, 1 Parhelion down, 1 to go. They have a Wandering Emperor. Dig Through Time. Wow. Is there Burning Pioneer? Yeah, there's a relatively popular mono red aggro deck. And there's also a more dedicated burn deck too. For this deck, what are my thoughts on Kroxa? Kroxa makes the deck overall weaker to Graveyard Hate. It doesn't have a lot of synergy with the more artifact-based sacrifice game plan either. Discards another Parhelion. Our deck text disabled. The channel points check text reset every like 30 minutes. Thoughts on Voltage Surge compared to Push? Push is way better than Voltage Surge. Voltage Surge I think is just bad even. I don't know. It doesn't hit players. Push kills everything. This deck is great at turning on Revolt for Push. So here's a question. If they go for Greasefang, should I let them bring back Parhelion? Oh, well. I guess I'm just going to blast them. They do gain 2. They have 4 cards left in their hands. I know we're not dead on board, but I don't think we can beat the Angels here. Let's go to game 2. We do get to bring in the Lantern of the Lost, though, and then we have to think about how many pushes, if any, we want, if we want Duress or not. I think when we board in the Lanterns, we can bring in the Implements. These also trigger the Anvils. We can maybe trim the 4th Epicure. Can maybe trim 1 Cat, 1 Oven. Yeah, I think I'm okay with just having Shrapnel Blast for Greasefang. Can play 1 push. Can maybe play 1 push, 1 Duress. Seems okay. Can maybe cut 4th Mayhem Devil for 2nd Duress. That's maybe too much discard too. I don't know. Seems fine. We got a lot of interaction with the extra Lanterns. Push doesn't interact with Planeswalkers. Yeah, but you're not boarding in the Voltaic Surge to deal with Planeswalkers, are you? I'm not. Like what Planeswalker deck do you bring in Voltaic Surge against? I like blue red. I wouldn't board it in against blue red. I would play Fry if my goal was to deal with like the Planeswalkers. What's Duress for? I mean, their deck is mostly non-creatures. Gonna discard their Parhelion. Their deck is almost exclusively non-creature spells. They have a ton of card draw, like Dig Through Time, Thirst for Knowledge. I don't know what we're talking about. You didn't play second lands? Did I really not? I think you're right. I don't know how I didn't do that. Probably gonna pop the Lantern end of turn. Try to keep them off Dig Through Time. I can't believe they're casting the Fracture here. Thoughtseize with 13 months. Appreciate you. Can you cast Gutshot off for Phyrexian off Underworld Breach? You can, yeah. As long as we don't hit Mayhem Devil, we're okay here. Alright, just 3 lands in hand, that's fine. They still have Otawara, though. Nothing they wanted to bounce with Otawara this turn. They play Deserted Breach. 1 new mystery card in their hand. Probably wait on this Thoughtseize. No. Another Witch's Oven. It's kind of funny. Kind of flooding again. When playing Sick a lot, I found Infernal Grass to kill both Nivs and Velomachus. Is this reasonable approach? I don't think that you need to kill Niv. I think you need to, like, you can Thoughtseize Niv sometimes and you can just kill them. I think that, like, trying to removal spell Niv is probably not correct. Could be wrong. I'll just leave up the Lantern. Wait on the Thoughtseize still. The Lantern enters the battlefield, exiles a card from the graveyard. Then you can exile it and exile all cards from graveyards. I thought this was actually sacrificed. The fact that it's exile is worse for the deck. Okay, Count's pretty good. Let's see it on Thoughtseize now. Wow, my opponent's actually drawn all lands. Hard to feel too upset about that. I probably should have led on Synthesizer here, though. It's fine, I guess. You have a treasure, why shock? I would rather shock and spend the mana from the land than lose the treasure. Like, I'm not really of the opinion that my life total is that relevant. But having the treasure in play is pretty valuable. It's different than Soulguide Lantern. Yeah, Soulguide Lantern, when you exile cards from your opponent's graveyard, you don't get to draw a card. When it exiled stuff, you sacked anyways. Yeah, but the text sacrifice triggers Mayhem Devil, but this doesn't trigger Mayhem Devil. It does trigger Anvil at least. Okay, that's a great top deck for them. Tezzeret? I only have 4 points of power too. I was maybe supposed to spin my treasure token and get the no, I need to not. No, never mind. If I spin the treasure token, then I lose the They discard Otawara? Sorry, if I discard treasure token, then I lose the ability to pop the Lantern. Okay, so we're gonna Cat Oven. Bring it back this turn. And then I think I should probably sacrifice the treasure to the Anvil here. Okay, let's start off by sacking the Blood Token, discard the Mountain. Another Lantern of the Lost. Sack the Synthesizer to the Anvil. Another Synthesizer is a great hit. Another Anvil is a great hit. Do I sack this Synthesizer? I think no. I think I will attack the Tezzeret. Play Lantern, have to exile something. Then Cat Oven to trigger the second Anvil. Pass back. Okay. It's the third time we've got a 2-for-1 off the Lanterns. They do get, they maybe can Greasefang me here, though. This might be a game where we can beat Greasefang. They don't find it. They do flashback, mill over, or discard Mending. They can flashback Mending. Or cast Thirst, whatever, right? Discards. No Parhelion yet. I am out of Lanterns. I've already used all 3. Go blank. Alright, goodbye, hand. You're pretty nice. We do get to kill Tezzeret, although we also might get to kill them. And I know it's the same amount of damage, but I think the gaining the life is kind of relevant against Greasefang. So we have 5 points of damage, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So I'll just cast the Epicure. If they've counted, they know they're dead. If they haven't counted, that's fine. We'll show them they're dead in a second. Okay, they counted. Okay, going to game 3. I love this. I love these decks. They're just so fun to play. And they're good too. A good combination of fun and powerful. Flowerful, if you will. Which deck is the strongest? Those you played in Pioneer. Probably this or the Mono Red Fires deck. I really like the Mono Red Fires deck. It's still a Fires deck. It kind of has weaknesses to stumbling. We stumbled a bunch today. But we had 2 trophies yesterday. We're running really well. Think Meat Master would be a good deck. Of course, I do think Meat Master would be good. I think that Shrapnel Blast is a little bit better, is my current impression. But yes, that card is totally reasonable to be on. Do you think this kind of deck is easier to play on MTGO or paper? Probably MTGO actually for sure, because MTGO remembers your triggers for you. Dude, they boarded in Hullbreaker Horror. I guess I could try to find Thoughtseize for that if I'm necessarily worried. Here, my opponent showed like a huge willingness to just like march my my lantern, so I'm just gonna try to take this 2 for 1. If they want to make the same play, which they actually don't. Maybe they'll portable hole it. Maybe they won't do anything. I think all of those things would be fine with me. You know, it's important to remember for like any deck, like there's usually like 1 or 2 cards that are like reasonable to play that aren't necessarily the best option. And I think Mythic Massacre is reasonable, but you lose Jegantha. I think Shrapnel Blast is kind of better, but definitely reasonable. If I just play Mayhem Devil, they can probably just march it. So maybe I'll play Epicure, Oven, Din here. I was playing this deck until every white deck LGS uses 3 Shard in the sideboard. That's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. You can maybe try to Shrapnel Blast it, you know. I don't know. Discard a March and a Tezzeret. So I guess I'm just Shrapnel Blasting. Well, 1 mana Shy of activating Din. I can only ping this 3 times. I can attack and then sack the Oven, sack the Blood token. Kind of an unfortunate amount of mana to have here. That's okay. There it is. Hullbreaker Horror, 2 mystery cards. Yeah, another point for Rending Volley, I guess. Okay. So sack the Epicure to Oven and sack the food token to Anvil. Make a 1/1. Looks like they have another March though. Spent 1 extra mana. Their hand is Hullbreaker Horror, mystery card, still 2 lands away from casting the horror. We've got some Den of the Bugbears, we got an Anvil, we got some Hopes, we got some Dreams. Oh, I guess I could have held this for Blood token, actually. It could have been better. Horror, 2 mystery cards. Still attacking this turn, probably, even though they're flashing it in. Oh, I drew a cat. It's really good. It's really, really good, actually. So we hit them for 3. They horror block the Den, take 3 down to 4. We play cat. We put them to 1. So I got cat Oven right now. I'm planning on blocking with the servo token, the construct token, and sacking it to Anvil. Misha, thank you for the 19 months. Welcome back. Appreciate you. It's gonna be tough for them to win from this point. Yeah, just packs it in. Cool. Great first match. Great match. Okay, opponent keeps 7. We're also going to keep 7. Temple Garden. Tapped. Ooh. I think we're leading on Thoughtseize here. Yeah, I kind of figured this is what they were on. Pretty easy. Sneak the Winota. Assuming this still does what I think it does, yeah. And then get Cat Oven down this turn. Don't think Thoughtseize changes that. Because I'll land next turn. I'll wait to bring this back because I kind of want to trigger the Anvil off of it. Oh, I forgot this gets haste. Oh, they forgot to attack. Okay. All's fair then. Do I wait and potentially let them cast another Winota? I think I'll just cast the Anvil. Anvil's kind of too important to my engine here, right? The strongest card legal in Pioneer. I mean, Treasure Cruise probably. Maybe Winota. Winota like is just like yeah. This card's probably the strongest. This card is. It is unreal how much text is on this card. Like, Winota just kind of feels like it's not from Magic. It kind of feels like it's from a different game entirely. Let me sack the Blood token to the Anvil end of turn. What's this card? This is Reckless Stormseeker, and it's been transformed into a Storm-charged Slasher. Do you think the format is healthy? I mean, it's like, if I was the format's doctor, right, I'd be like, alright, you're looking like you're in pretty good shape, Pioneer. I would maybe watch that Winota cyst on your back, and it looks like you have a Lotus Field growth on your toe. But overall, you're looking pretty good. You should just maybe get that checked out. I think I'm going to hold up Shrapnel Blast this turn. Yeah, thanks, Dr. Spike. I sure am excited to keep playing my favorite format. Okay, so I think I started blasting here. I'm telling you right now, I would ban Lotus Field though. I'm so tired of that deck. I'm not sure how fair that is, to be honest, but I'm just kind of people keep going Spike. They basically never kill on turn 3. They kill on turn 5. Lotus Field was a turn 5 combo deck, but they keep killing me on turn 3. They keep killing me on turn 3. So maybe when they stop killing me on turn 3, I'll reconsider. Spike, they kill on turn 3. What's the big deal? Spike, you're just biased because they keep killing you on turn 3 despite you having like lock pieces and an interaction. It's fine. It's fine. They are a turn 5 deck that just kills you on turn 3 sometimes. Spike, I know you keep getting your Damping Spheres and Alpine Moons and God Pharaoh Statue Besaged, and then they untap and kill you the turn after you play Damping Sphere. That's variance, Spike. You don't understand. It's variance. That never ever happens. Maybe you're right, but maybe my opinion will change after I play a little bit more of the format, right? But this is my current impression. It's fine. It's fine. It's a turn 5 combo deck. Unless they have Grazer, and then it's a turn 3 combo deck. Have I tried playing it? Yeah, I've played it. It's very good. I did some testing off stream. I killed on turn 3, I think, like twice in my league off stream. Like, I just don't feel the same that a lot of people seem to feel about the deck. What can I say? If a werewolf deals damage to a player, draw a card. Can maybe Chandra's defeat that, take the Redain. It's a turn 4 deck, Spike, for sure. It's a turn 4 combo deck that's resilient to counter spells, to discard spells, to lock pieces. Mono Red has a great matchup. I was actually told Mono Red has an 80-20 matchup against it. But I kind of feel like that matchup feels like very much like die roll dependent to me. Again, what do I know? I'm just a streamer who's complaining into the void, but I kind of feel like that matchup's like whoever wins the die roll is kind of favored. I'm just a whiny streamer. Don't listen to me. Okay, I think I'll defeat this and play an Oven. I can't handle another day of endless bitch about Lotus Field. Yeah, I got unzipped a little bit. You unzipped me. Arlen Field, no activate. My opponent's like, I can't handle Spike complaining about Lotus Field again. I'm just gonna stun lock him by not activating the Arlen Chord. Yeah, so I mean, I just like attack this, and then they can't make the wolves. Is Pioneer actually fun? I'm having a good time with it. Like, I personally like think the Lotus Field is kind of like the Lotus Field deck's bad for the format, but we don't need to like talk about that nonstop all stream every stream. Maybe we do. You know, I don't love my opponent's deck either. The format's horrible, actually. I'd never play it. It's good. I like it. I like it. Don't think I quite have lethal. Probably just better try to kill the Arlen. What's happening? Until end of return, creature spells that they have flash. Okay, I thought that was haste. I thought it was haste. What's going on right now? Don't tell me that you guys would have spent your time reading Arlen Chord. Don't tell me you guys would have been like, you know what I'm going to do this turn? I'm going to read Arlen Chord. This is going to be a good use of my time. So it's still night, huh? So I think I Shrapnel Blast them. I think it turns back into day, and I just kill them over the course of 2 turns. Oh wait, hold on. Don't have like an extra artifact hanging out. So I can go Witch's Oven, put them down to 10, sack the Shrapnel Blast, sack the food token to Witch's Oven, and then that's 4 more damage. 6 more damage down to 4, sorry. 6 more damage down to 4. And then next turn I go sack Epicure to Oven, then sack food token. So I'm counting that I'm 1 damage short, but you think I can't find a damage? You think I can't find a damage when I've got Mayhem Devil in play? I'll find damage. Maybe we die if they would Noda, and maybe we live if they would Noda. Yeah, the Lotus Field deck can, while we're on the topic that everybody is loving, Lotus Field can kill on turn 2. Can. Okay, so they left us back to block, so I don't think we can Alpha Strike, right? Maybe we can. We fire in with the Hive. They have to double block this. They go double block this. Block the devil. But then I have to sack this before damage. They can fight the 1/1. I just get to sack it before, you know, they can fight it. The fight doesn't do anything. Yeah. I know the turn 2 kill is like... The turn 2 kill never happens. Like, the turn 2 kill has maybe never naturally happened in Pioneer. I know it's like... It basically doesn't happen. But it does exist. They can kill on turn 2. So yeah, on turn... So they go turn 1 Grazer, put another non-Lotus Field land into play. Then on turn 2, they play Lotus Field, floating 2 mana, sacking 2 lands. They cycle like 3 Vizier of Tumbling Sands to make like 5 mana. Then they can cast like Hidden Strings 2 times. Then cast like the Ultimatum, or, you know, pour over the pages. You know, make a bunch of mana and win. You have to have like a perfect hand. It's really unlikely, but it is technically possible. So I guess I'm gonna Hive and block the 2/2s here. Why didn't we kill them? We're 1 short, right? I don't know how you get that 1 extra point of damage. You sack Hive? I can't sack Hive. Sacking Hive and sacking Epicure is the exact same amount of damage. Oh, sack Hive after we attack and then we sack Hive. Okay, yes. Yeah, sorry, I did miss that line. That's what you guys meant. Got it. Right. Yeah, didn't quite get there. Oh, they fight the Epicure. That's right, they fight the Epicure. Yeah, that line doesn't work. That line doesn't work. I didn't see it though. I didn't get that far. Okay, let's keep this. Good hand, good hand. Great hand against mono red. I think we're gonna lead on the Oven. How's Anvil been? I think this deck's great. We were talking about this earlier. Like, I know I haven't been playing much of it, but it's kind of like, I feel like this deck, I kind of feel like I got not solved necessarily, but I like pretty quickly became really happy with how the deck was built, and I didn't really feel like, I feel like I just wanted to be working on other stuff. But I've been very happy with this deck for a while now. Is Jegantha worth having over Meat Hook? I'm playing Shrapnel Blast over Meat Hook. I'm not really playing Jegantha over Meat Hook, I feel. But it's like part of Shrapnel Blast is that you do get to play Meat Hook. That's definitely like part of it. But I kind of just like Shrapnel Blast more, and I like that, like, building the deck this way lets your curve be lower overall too. That's pretty good. Although, so is this. David, thank you for the 2-pack. Assuming that's for Deck Tech. If you want to post that in the chat, I can take a look. Still doing the 1,000,000 channel points for VIP? Yep. Do you have 1,000,000 channel points? Probably do if you're asking. Green Red Pyro Party. Interesting. Give me a second. Opponent's draw has been very good. So if they attack with Eidolon, I kind of have to double block and go to 1, right? Maybe not. They're not even attacking with it, so I guess we'll just go block, block, sack, sack. Oh boy. Yeah, just pass back. It's a lot of damage. I know if you cut the Young Pyromancers, it might cease to be a Pyro Party, but I almost feel like I'd rather just play Soulscar Mage instead of Young Pyromancer. But for the sake of keeping this as a Pyro Party, we'll allow it. I would play Light Up the Stage over Reckless Impulse, probably. I understand the differences, but I still think you want Light Up the Stage instead for the better nut draws. I would only play one Sokenzan, I wouldn't play two. World's kind of your oyster on what you play instead. Probably a mountain. Probably just a mountain. I like the extra Besages in the sideboard. I like the Maguses. I think that the sideboard looks great. I might like to see Endurance over Relic. But I think the sideboard generally looks great here, actually. You might only want to play 3 Red and 6 also. 4 seems like kind of a lot. But Decklist is really cool, actually. I like it a lot. I like the harvest a lot in this kind of shell. It makes a lot of sense to me. Oh, was that deck? No, you had Seasoned Pyromancer cutting off Jegantha. So I put my opponent down to 10. I go down to 6. And then I can Shrapnel Blast second to Blood Token, putting them to 5. 5, 4, 3. It's a little short. Oh, I guess I get 1 more damage if I bring the cat back now. Potentially. Can attack. Oh, Implement is a damage too. Attack with the cat, put them to 3. Cat Oven, put them to 2. Anvil, put them to 1. Implement, kill them. Oh, I also the ovens are also more damage. There's always a way to kill your opponent with this deck. It's impossible to lose. You have to find it. That's the problem. You gotta find the win. Chanting for the 11 months. Appreciate ya. We're bring the pushes, defeats, got the Thoughtseize and the 4th Mayhem Devil, and get something to drink too. I think we have to mulligan this on the draw. Yeah. double cat oven against mono red. Seems good. I think I either put back the Shrapnel Blast or the mountain. I think on the draw I could probably put back the mountain. Be nice to draw like an untapped black source in turn 1. Otherwise we just play this tapped and then can cat oven next turn. Lots of possibility Teferi combo fires. Teferi is not legal. Thank Clothis, but Teferi is not legal. There's probably like Dranith Magistrate as like another option, but it's probably not very good. Well then. I guess I have a Fatal Push for that. Opponent's draws both games have been great. I think the mono red deck's pretty good. So here we get to go sack food to cat, hold priority, Fatal Push the Ferostodon. And then play second oven, I think. Blood Crypt tap to pass. This matchup does seem great. Don't have a second Ferostodon though. Skewer me, that's fine. Hey Andre, how's it going? So you don't want to bring back the cat on my opponent's instep here because you're not going to attack with it. So if you draw an anvil, you want to be able to trigger the anvil off the cat sacking the food token. Caustic, through the 10 months. Appreciate ya. Yeah, that's me. Pioneer, Streamer, Aspiring Spike. Firing within. Taking 5 this turn, gaining 2, so we go down to 8. Yeah, Jegantha is also just so relevant. I know you lose the awesome Meat Hook Massacre, but I think Shrapnel Blast is better than... I mean, Meat Hook would be better than Shrapnel Blast here, obviously, but... I think I like this build of the deck more than the Meat Hook builds. It's a donation for deck tag. I'm not sure notification ever popped up. I may have missed it. You can just post a link in the chat. I believe you. Sometimes the notifications can be weird. And if you're scamming me, you have to live with yourself. Okay, so I think we go implement, blast my opponent, sacking the implement. Drawing Deadly Dispute. It's kind of an interesting one. I think I just hold up the Deadly Dispute here. Makes a ton of damage. Sometimes, right? Sometimes it is. It's like, I think Meat Hook is way worse than like this blue-red control metagame, the Lotus Field metagame. It's a very swingy card. Wait, Togek, is this is your deck tech? Oh yes, I did see that. Sorry, thank you. I didn't realize that's what Stoneway was referring to. Is it Coco Hazaret? Format Pioneer. Okay, I'm a little dizzy looking at this, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, this matchup seems super lopsided. We can keep this hand. It's a bit funky. I think we're gonna lead on the Epicure here. Besages against Stamping Sphere, pretty important. I guess that makes sense, yeah. I guess I'm more on board now. Okay, it looks like we're probably playing against Greasefang. It's maybe the same opponent we played against earlier. Maybe not, right? Yeah, opponents is twice in league. New league for me. Flooded. Does mill over a Can't Stay Away, puts Blooming Marsh into hand. I think I'm sacking the Epicure to the Deadly Dispute. Playing this deck, Sans Shrapnel Blast on Arena, Pseudo Pioneer is kicking butt. Yeah, I've heard that this deck is also viable and historic. Is Sylvan Keratin an elemental? It's a plant, right? Not an elemental. I like that draw. Don't like that so much. Okay. So we can go like Anvil, sack treasure token, Thoughtseize my opponent. Fatal Push Can't Stay Away. I'll take the Can't Stay Away because they can get a Registrar back with it this turn. And I want to play the Cat because I can use the Blood token to trigger the Anvil next turn potentially. Or maybe I'll sack the... Yeah, maybe I'll go like sack Blood token, trigger Anvil, and then block with the Servo Take token, sack it to Deadly Dispute. Oh, that was a historic deck, not Pioneer. So Grinning Ingus is not legal in Pioneer then? Our dreams are all crushed? Ingus was in Strixhaven? Oh, okay. Cool. Never mind. I'm gonna put what on the stack? NTB 6 counters. If damage we dealt to it has a counter on it, prevent that damage through the counter. 3 mana fight. Oh, I should have discarded Den. So they can Fatal Push with this trigger on the stack, and I can deadly dispute whatever they target. But then they can fight Polukranos on the Construct token and hit me for 15. Okay, let me block? No, let me block. Deck's pretty good at blocking. Can I draw some gas? No! What is this draw? Guess I could Sokenzan. I can't stay away from the Reggies. Go to game 2. Tough stuff. Let's bring in the pushes and the Lanterns of the Lost. Probably trim 1 blast, a couple disputes, and the Thoughtseizes. Maybe I'll play 1 Thoughtseize and trim an implement, or play 2 Thoughtseize, no implements. It's probably fine. Any plans for copying Ob token with the Chariot? Not really, no. Like, maybe there is a deck that plays both Chariot and Ob, because they're both good cards, right? But if you have an Ob and you got to copy it, you're ahead. If you have Asiga's Chariot and you're attacking with it and copying something, you're ahead. Doing both is just unnecessary. Like, having your game plan revolve around copying your Ob with your Chariot is just unnecessary. It's just trying to play EDH and Pioneer. Is probably very fun. And maybe you get to do it in some deck. But, like, this is never an interaction you should build your deck around. Okay, let's keep this ham. I think I'm playing Oven on turn 1. Hope I chose correctly. Well, I'm going this deck. Maybe, yeah, I have to think about it. I think it's likely we're going to try it for sure. But I don't know that it ends up making the final version, to be honest. I know the Ob token is not legendary, so you copy with Trey. I did know that. Did know that. They mill over. Nothing too relevant. They can get a land if they want. They take the Blooming Marsh. Not going to push the Seder Wayfinder. I will cast the Synthesizer next turn if we don't draw anything better. Lantern's interesting. I think I'll still cast the Synthesizer. The only card we miss on here is Mayhem Devil. Shrapnel Blast is kind of interesting, though. Oh, I'm in the beginning of combat steps. Prefer Lanterns over Leylands on the side. Yeah, they've got, they got some artifact synergies in the deck, and they're better than top deck. They're less polarizing. Oh, I didn't mean to uncheck that. Thank you. Would have loved that Cauldron Familiar. Okay, Reggie's fine. I've got the Fatal Push. I think I'll probably just try to trigger Revolt off the Lantern. Make them discard, kind of like get a 2-for-1, since they have to discard a card in their hand, which we can Lantern if it is anything relevant. How is Leyland Signy versus this deck? It's okay. Like, it shuts off Cat Oven. That's like the only thing it turns off, but that is a really relevant thing to turn off. So if they cast Grease Fang here, it's a bit weird. I guess, they didn't, and we just sack the Lantern, push the Reggie. Flame Knight with the $10. Loving the Pioneer content. Is that for a deck tech, or are you just loving the Pioneer content? Either way is fine. Just let me know. Thanks again. Draw lands. We've got 4 cards in their hand. Poly K again. Not a bad draw. See what we find off the synthesizer. Swamp. I've got another synthesizer in my hand. I think I'll just go ahead and sack this here. I could find a cat, could find a Thoughtseize, could find a push. Could find a Shrapnel Blast. Could you have help priority and make sure the exile register? I could have and should have, yeah, sorry. Pioneer. Heroic. Heroic's a tough card, a tough deck to figure out. I would definitely play 4 Dreadhorde Arcanist though. I gotta read Season of Growth. Never you cast a spell, target's creature control, draw a card. Creatures ETBs draw a card. This card's probably a little too slow. Probably a little too slow, a bit too disruptible. Doesn't necessarily jive with your aggro game plan. I think I would probably not want to include that card. I would probably want to see the 4th Dreadhorde Arcanist, 4th Defiance Strike. I like Reckless Rage. I would probably play the card that puts a +1 counter and gives hexproof over Tamiyo's Safekeeping. Snakeskin Veil, I think is the name of the card. Another flood. Been flooding a lot this league. It is what it is. Just happens sometimes with this deck. Cauldron Familiar is an amazing grab, though. Oh, they had their own Thoughtseize in their hand. Yeah, I guess I didn't necessarily need the Thoughtseize because they had their Reggie in play, too. Yeah, I play Snakeskin Veil over Tamiyo's Safekeeping. Gird for Battle's okay, I guess. Really not a card I love, to be honest. Okay, they have another Parhelion and now a Chariot 2 in the yard. The rest of the deck looks pretty strong. I like the sideboard a lot. I actually really like the Boros Charms. Oh, wait, no, I don't know what Titan... Don't play Titan Strength in your board. Play in the main deck or not at all. Play it in the main deck or not at all. I'm trying to think if I would ever attack with my cat this turn. Probably not, so we'll wait to bring it back. We are going to take 6, I think. I was thinking about fighting the Samurai token, which I don't think ever makes any sense here. Will Blossoming Defense be better than Snakeskin Veil? I think I like Snakeskin Veil more, because like you just get to like get the counters on, which is like relevant for Dreadhorde Arcanist, relevant for the Angel. Whatever her name is. They're double blocking. It's okay with me. A fair trade. We can put Jegantha in our hand. We have 2 food tokens, so they're not gonna be able to kill my cat with like the Poly K fight unless they draw a land. In which case, we can sack one of the foods to gain 3 life, go up to 15 after we gain 1 from the cat. When Obnex released, this deck will be broken. Broken is probably an exaggeration. Magic players in general tend to like super overvalue like 3-mana planeswalkers. The card will likely be like somewhat viable in this archetype, but I think to say that it will be definitely broken is way too early. They probably should have played that pre-combat. Maybe it doesn't matter. Would I recommend this deck for an in-paper investment? I think I would, you know. I'm going to be building this deck in paper. I'm missing just a few cards. I think this deck has a lot of staying power. Is very good. Is one that really rewards you for learning it. So I'll probably just block this on Polukranos and like let the Polukranos go to 1 counter. Yeah, the Anvil is a great draw there too. Is Soul Flare playable again? Always has been, I guess. I don't know what that card is. Is there a shift in the metagame where you consider Meathook over Jegantha? Yeah, if there's just like millions of 1 toughness creatures, then yes. Sounds good. I guess I could also just block here, keep my Jegantha. It's maybe fine too, I'm not sure. Doesn't seem like it really cost me that much. It's not a very expensive deck. I don't think this deck costs very much. I already also have most of the pieces because I have the modern version too. I think I'm missing a couple of cards, but kind of funny. Like I don't think Meathook is correct to play, but Meathook Massacre is actually a really expensive card. And you might want to play it in some metagames. Okay, that's not a terrible draw. Don't quite have lethal, right? Pretty close, though. Have lethal next turn. Any chance Grizzle Sigil could be played in this deck after cap release? For like new cards like Grizzle Sigil, you'll just have to like remind me what they do, or like post the text or type exclamation point card Grizzle Sizzle. Because I just am not very good with names. There's a lot to remember, and I don't remember the name of most of the cards. But I've read the cards all at this point, or most of them, and I can give you my thoughts if you remind me. This looks like I'm gonna fight with Polukranos. I don't think this gets them out of it. Guess I'll take 7, go down to 3. And we this game's over. The game is over, right? Yeah. Sorry, so we win game 2, go to game 3. Is that what I said? Who knows? Polukranos was summoned. I actually saw people were actually playing the mono green Polukranos and the mono green Devotion sideboard. People think it's like the Mirror Breaker. I don't really feel like that card's the Mirror Breaker when the Mirror is about like going crazy big with like Storm the Festival and stuff. I could be wrong. That card could be great in the Mirror. But people are definitely registering it. They're also playing like Kindrith's Transformation. That card seems terrible too, but I could also be missing it. But you should, yeah, Polukranos, you should go play that deck with the Poly K in the sideboard. Does a mono green Polukranos get really big? It does get really big, but I feel like it seems like when the mono green matchup seems like it's about like Karn, Storm the Festival, Nissa, like all those cards seem better and more impactful in the matchup than Polukranos does. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. But that's my impression, is that Polukranos seems like a worse threat than those cards in the matchup. And so like the card's also probably good against mono red. I feel like you win the mirror with the combo. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just my take as someone who hasn't really been playtesting much with it. How did our first league go? This is our first league with this deck, right? And then we didn't have a very good day with Fires today. But we're having a good league with the Anvil deck. Hopefully we can pick this up and play for a trophy. Got a pretty good hand, I think. Let's try. I don't love the double Shrapnel Blast necessarily. Fracture, Takenuma, Thoughtseize. Fill 22 lands. The max cost of 3 is overkill personally. I mean, I disagree. You have a lot of mana sinks. You really need to hit your land drops in Pioneer. Missing one of your first 3 land drops is death in Pioneer. It's over. It's just death to miss one of your first 3 land drops usually. I know we've been flooding out a lot, but we're also 3-0 despite like flooding. Like you have a lot of mana sinks. It's fine, I think. You know what card we haven't seen this match is Greasefang. My opponent put Rotting Regisaur into their hand, so we're probably going to go end of turn sack Lantern push to not get too far behind on mana. Because a lot not thought because of the concentration of man lands, so you don't need the mana sink as you're talking about. Yes, and then also like you don't have as many swamps because you're playing like a lot of man lands and a lot of pathways, Haunted Ridge. So it's kind of hard to have it enter on tap sometimes. Ward is when you have your target with spells or abilities, right? It's fine. Yeah, Trespasser's fine here. Oh, I did forget to hold priority again, sorry. Yeah. I missed that last turn, guys, game too. Trying to think, like I can Shrapnel Blast this, ping this, attack for 3. I think like holding up the Shrapnel Blast, like maybe kill Rotting Regisaur, maybe kill Greasefang is probably a bit safer because I feel like we're really ahead here. I don't think that I need to play too aggressively. Okay, now I think I'll go ahead and Shrapnel Blast the Trespasser, sacking Blood Token, ping the Citrus Supplier, and then do I discard the Carrion Feeder? I think I'll discard the Cauldron Familiar so that I can potentially Takenuma back Mayhem Devil, which is easier because I'm getting a mana off the Assassin's Trophy too. Can't stay away on Rotting Regisaur. The flashback's going to be really powerful here too. I can maybe go block and Shrapnel Blast on defense. Here, I think I might just like to go Anvil, tap Anvil, sack Synthesizer, just see what we find. Lantern of the Lost is a really good draw. Really good pickup. So I'll target the Can't Stay Away. And then it's a bit awkward if I pop the Lantern before Takenuming back Mayhem Devil, but that's probably going to be the end of the world. You might see me do something like block with Epicure and Shrapnel Blast to kill the Rotting Regisaur, and you also might see me just like ignore the Regisaur for a turn or two. We'll see. I guess we'll get a stop on their upkeep, so if they discard like a Can't Stay Away or something. No, I guess if they discard Can't Stay Away, we just wait for them to cast it, then cast Lantern. So they have one card in their hand. They are going to discard whatever it is. It's a Parhelion. They draw Godless Shrine for turn. Yeah, I think I want to go ahead and get rid of the Regisaur. And then maybe, yeah, I think what we'll do here is we'll go block Epicure on Regisaur, Shrapnel Blast the Regisaur, second Construct token, then Takenuma back Mayhem Devil, then sacrifice Lantern of the Lost, or exile Lantern of the Lost, which triggers the Anvil. And obviously like having Mayhem Devil here is going to be pretty sick. This is all, of course, assuming we don't draw something better to do. Yeah, which we did not draw something better. So channel. We do lose the Cauldron Familiar, but we don't have an oven, so it's not that big a deal. Did your spell? It's a Satyr Wayfinder. Doesn't mill over anything is super relevant. They do get a land in their hand. Satyr Wayfinder is getting pinged by Mayhem Devil. We also still have Jegantha. Jegantha is super relevant, unfortunately. I think we all wish Jegantha was a little less relevant than it is. Giving my opponents some crucial info as they're maybe a little upset I've drawn so many lanterns. Keep one land in hand for a blood token, loot. Just play one though. Do another spell, another Rotting Regisaur. It's pretty good. Drew another land. I think they probably can't attack, so okay, just targeting them here. Maybe not that relevant to play out that land. Like maybe we would draw 2 Epicures in a row. We actually can attack with Jegantha. Maybe they have to like block. We can ping it. Yeah, if they attack there, I'm just taking 7. Another Lantern's kind of interesting. So we'll go Jegantha. See if they want to trade here. No trade, it's fine. We'll just play our Lantern. Hit them for 2 more, down to 6. When I'm upset I drew the Lantern, I also drew like 3 lands in a row, for whatever that's worth. Is the Lantern even good here? Okay, I guess they have Parhelion as the card. But Graveyard Trespasser in their hand. They also hit Can't Stay Away. Cast the Trespasser. I probably just sack the Lantern now. Stop them from getting these triggers. I guess the Lantern was good, huh? Guess it was alright. Alright, these are some good draws. We're probably killing them this turn. Supposed to my opponent down to 4. Anvil's 2 more damage. Experimental Synthesizer's 1 more damage. Just need to find 1 more point. Should be doable. Yeah. that's at least 1 more point, right? Cool. Okay, we're 4-0. I will see you guys in... Or, sorry. Let's get a trophy prediction going. One of the main reasons we're even playing Graveyard Hate in the first place is to hate against Delve spells. Like, you bring them in against, like, Phoenix and Blue-Red Control. And like, just, like, not getting to draw a card against the Delve spell is really bad. I guess I'll take a Rattle Chains. This is probably a fine matchup, although our hand doesn't seem very good against theirs. Interesting draw. I'll try to Thoughtseize the Rattle Chains, maybe the Mausoleum Wanderer me. I'm actually kind of happy if they do, I think. Will I add Ob to the deck? I'll try Ob in the deck. I don't know if how good or bad it'll be, to be honest. But I'm planning to try it, yeah. Shackle guys, attack me for 4. I'll play Anvil, and I think I can sack the blood token to the Anvil to drain for 1, but I think I'm probably supposed to try to, like, dig for an Oven or dig for a Mayhem Devil. Or an Epicure, I guess. In my experience, this matchup is awful for you. I could believe you. Could you maybe speak to more as to why? Is it just all the flying? Because I kind of feel like Mayhem Devil is like, I feel like Mayhem Devil seems like an unbeatable card for me, or card for them. But yeah, I always have Mayhem Devil, I guess. This is flying. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I think this is my first time playing it again. Okay, 4, 6. Maybe they'll goof and sack the Wanderer. Yeah, Meat Hook would be a big swing in the matchup too. Obviously, we're not playing it. You have a lot of removal spells post board. The pushes are very strong in the matchup. I do think the mono blue Flyers deck is good. I think it's. I'm not sure how much like the general player base respects it, but I like the deck. Why not attack? I mean, I was gonna attack, but like it didn't matter at that point. It's about Damping Sphere over Moon. Well, one thing I like about Moon over Damping Sphere is like our deck wants to like double and triple spell, and so like playing our own Damping Sphere is going to like stop us from double spelling. And then Alpine Moon's also 1 mana. Not that you usually want to play it on turn 1 though. Having Meat Hook somewhere in the 75 is probably really good. Cards messed up. I mean, you lose Jegantha, and like I think that like decks like Mono Blue Spirits, at least at the time of making this comment, are not very popular. And like I do think Meat Hook is great. I think that I have considered like putting Meat Hook over literally every single other card though, and I like how this deck is how it's constructed this way. I think it's really easy to recognize that Meat Hook is a good card in this deck. I also recognize that it's really hard to find out like what card it goes over because I don't actually think it fits very well anywhere. I hate this hand. I'm going to keep though. This hand has Mayhem Devil, it has Push, it has Oven. Hate it though. I may just like Synthesizer on turn 2. Yeah, it also means no Jegantha. I think Strangle. Yeah, I think Strangle is going to be a really big deal in Pioneer. I'm not sure exactly every deck, exactly where every deck plays it, but I think it'll be very popular. I just main phase the Push. I know like I might want to try to kill this with the Mayhem Devil, but I think just keeping the board clear is pretty important. So like they can't go like Curious Obsession plus like Spell Pierce my Push or something. David, thank you for 9 months. Appreciate you. Congrats on the mortgage. Thank you. Where does Daniel Ob fit in the list? People have asked a lot. The answer is I'm not sure. At least that's my answer. I'm not sure. I've got some thoughts, obviously, but I will figure it out. I promise you, by the time that the new set is released, we will try it. Probably like, you know, the problem with cutting the Shrapnel Blast is that you have no removal, really. But maybe over the Shrapnel Blasts. We played against the Winota deck with this today. Yes, we did. This league. It was not the stock Winota list, though. I could sack the Mayhem Devil to kill the Sailor here. I think that's probably a bit of a spew. Cut Implement seems like the weakest. I mean, it is the weakest card in the deck, but like in the deck with like 4 Deadly Dispute, 4 Shrapnel Blast, I'm really interested in having Implement. And like cutting it for like a 6-mana Planeswalker or 3-mana Planeswalker seems like, you know, again, it's just like Twitch Chat just always wants to add like the fun card draw spell, the fun X spell, but I think like you can't cut the implements. Is Synthesizer not good enough? Synthesizer is incredible in the deck. I would never cut it. So I think they're going to spend 2 mana for Ascendant Spirit end of turn and get blown out. I'm saying 4 Synthesizer and 2 Implements. Yes, I think that you need like 6 of these 1 mana enchantment or whatever artifacts. I know that's what you're saying. I know that you're saying you think that 2 is enough. I know, but I disagree. Or 4 is enough. But if you disagree, that's fine. You can have a different opinion. I think you really need the 6 1-drops. If you disagree, it's fine. You can build the deck that way and test it for yourself. See how you feel. Is it about legal? They play this card because it's a snow card. It can spend mana for Ascendant Spirit, and this card's really good. think I have to target the Spectral Sailor. Well, if they have Hexproof, it's so bad, actually. And then a counterspell doesn't do anything here. And then, I think I'm sacking the Blood Token. It's kind of close, though. But if they have a Hexproof effect, things get kind of dicey. If they have, yeah, if they have Rattle Chains. Yeah, they do have Rattle Chains. But we get to kill the Spirit. They get to draw a couple cards. But we get to untap. We still have Mayhem Devil in play. We've got a lot of good top decks. Why not sack food to ping twice? I am pinging twice. I did ping twice with the Witch's Oven, and then the Shrapnel Blast was the second ping. This also just lets me kill the Spirit and use my mana a bit better, I think. Maybe holding Shrapnel Blast is better to like trigger the Synthesizer, I guess, but I think this was fine at least. To go Anvil, sack Synthesizer. My opponent has lost connection to the game. Surely this isn't like a raid scoop to Oni-Cult Anvil. Being twice Spectre Sail without using the card. Yeah. Like, I think that might have been fine. But like, I don't think like it's the same amount of mana spent, but we just end up actually getting to kill the Spirit. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe 5 face. I like killing the Spirit. I think that's fine. I think if you sack the food there, that would have been fine too. You get to gain 3 life. I don't think. Okay, they're back. I don't think that like sacking the food there was terrible. Got some triggers on the stack. Okay, I don't have any black mana. Yeah, I can't afford to be so greedy that I try to Synthesizer for a black source here. They have 5 cards in their hand. Okay. It's third Curious Obsession. Got 3 cards in their hand. Pretty likely to have a counter spell, but maybe not one that counters the Synthesizer. That's also a really interesting card here. Let me start off by casting Synthesizer, I think. Definitely have a counter. Counter unless I pay 3. So I think, so we just let this go. Attack my opponent. And then I play the second devil. I get to go sack food token to Anvil, sack the construct to Oven. I get 4 pings. So I can deal 1, 2, 3, 1, which doesn't kill both, or I can just deal 4 to them, or I can just deal 3, 1. 3, 1's probably where we're going. Claim the Firstborn has been a staple in Standard Historic next to Witch's Oven. Does Pioneer meta not have enough small creatures to steal? Yeah, there aren't that many small creatures. You could consider it, obviously. You could consider it. It's like just kind of like, I feel like usually just one push because instant speed is really relevant against like Greasefang and Winota, and Claim the Firstborn doesn't hit like those cards when you need them to. Let's mulligan this. Pretty good 6-card hand. I'm going to put back the Shrapnel Blast, I guess. Again, just play around Rattle Chains. Kill this now. Rattle Chains, or sometimes they play like Dress Down or Dive Down. Three cards in their hand. Do I play the Synthesizer? I think I just play Cat. It's good if they don't have Rattle Chains or another flash creature. When do you rebuild the Grading Inga stack? I've already done it. Stay tuned for next league. 2 cards in hand. Hopefully no Curious Obsession. Thankfully, no Curious Obsession. Does kind of feel like they have a counterspell for the Synthesizer. Or so for the Mayhem Devil, so maybe I'll like bait it off the Anvil or something. Yeah, I think they're pretty likely to counter the Anvil instead here. Oh wow, they didn't. Okay. Going back to the Sweet Mono Black mid-range Pioneer deck. Probably not the Pioneer one anytime soon. Just because like there's so many black-based mid-range decks in Pioneer. I'm not sure which version is the best. I'm not sure which one I really want to be on. Blowout. So hopefully they just main phase, turn Spirit into a 4/4. Well, dang it. Big hit. Can you hit like Fatal Push or something here? Out of the frying pan, still in the fire, I guess. They've got no cards in their hand, though, and I've got Mayhem Devil plus Oni-Cult Anvil to start killing their 1-toughness creatures. It all comes down to this. They draw a card. Best case scenario. Mickey with the 35 months, love you, buddy. Radio Gaslight with a 20, love you, too. 10 spot. Play around some counter unless you pay 3 card. Lofty Denial. I guess they don't have the mana for it, right? It's probably something. Which do I kill? I think I killed the Rattle Chains. It do be kind of close though. Okay, it's dead. Go up to 4 life. Draws a card. 4 cards in their hand. Plays Island. Attacks for 1. I think I Deadly Dispute before combat because I can use the treasure to attack with the Den. We didn't have mana for Jegantha, did we? Oh, we did have mana for Jegantha. Oops. So is it better to put Jegantha in hand than to Den and hold up Shrapnel Blast too? This probably is. Let's go. Third 5-0 in 2 days feels pretty good. We were definitely in a 5-0 dry spell for a long time. I think I'm gonna play one more with this deck. Really, really liking it. Kind of feel the same way I did going into today, where this deck feels pretty settled, really good. Doesn't need that much work. Sometimes you just get to play the good decks, though. Very tense match 5, though. Yeah, that matchup seems all about Mayhem Devil.